Welcome back to Movie Nights, where I make good decisions.
You like people's stupid fucking home videos put on DVD? I sure do.
Oh god. Okay, so this is Transylvania Police Monster Squad, which is a double feature.
Fucking thing.
Yeah, a double feature with Gypsy Vampire 3, Freaky Vampire. This was given to me several years ago with a lot of Conrad Brooks films, but this one is not really a Conrad Brooks film because he's not. He didn't write it or direct it or anything. He's just
he hosts it from the graveyard where several scenes take place.
They don't have a lot of scenes or a lot of sets to film on. They just have wherever their friends would let them.
Yeah, it's home videos.
It's shot on Shitio is what it is.
It's fucking, and it's just...
This says 2001. Lie.
If that's 2001, they were fucking way behind.
Lie. So
These
what it is?
These people better not have made this in 2001.
Basically, it's a cops parody, is what it is. But if there's monsters,
I was talking about the Magnum stain removal thing. That's at the beginning
sorry.
for
They have a
damn reason.
A fake commercial because they're presenting it, I guess, as a TV show.
It's like something parents would make with their kids.
You've been washed 3 or 4 times, Stain, but you never came out. This is Magnum Stain Remover. Do you feel lucky? Well, do ya?
Well, at least the stain came out!
Like, oh look, it took out the stain because it blew a hole through her shirt, and that's the whole sketch. And you're like, why'd that happen? Suddenly the movie starts.
It's weird because that's the only one they do as a fake commercial, and there's no, commercial breaks, to try and pretend that this is a TV show. This is
Conrad
2
Brooks,
episodes of a TV
he breaks in midway to tell us it's time for episode 2.
We didn't realize
because apparently these are episodes.
So just sit back and watch those cops kick butt in the 2nd episode. Transylvania Police Monster Squad!
But a lot of them are just extended scenes of
garbage.
Yeah, of people chasing people in monster masks around, improvising really badly.
Yeah. Gotta get this pumpkin. It's really cool. The pumpkin. What an asshole. I gotta bust this pumpkin. He's right in front of me, but I really gotta bust him. I'll go get him later. That pumpkin. The
thing about getting pumpkins is we have these tools such as jack-o'-lantern carvings
or
we use
or really shitty movies. They lure them too.
Lure them in there. So
they can't help it. We'll do it soon, but first we gotta really fuck around with this DVD case and the pumpkins. Wow, we just made a sketch for this stupid movie, if you can call this a movie.
It comes off I know exactly what it was.
As assholes.
Yeah, I know exactly what it was. They were like, oh man, we're gonna make a cheesy B movie. So if we don't put any effort in it and we make it really kooky and cheap, they'll automatically laugh because, all these fans of these kooky B movies, they'll eat anything up, especially when it's on purpose.
Oh wow, this Cops parody sure is funny because they add monster or vampire in randomly. Looks like over there is a typical vampire attack.
At one point they just said a monster is parked in a handicap space.
Yeah, we just got a call from a local shopping center, monster parking in a handicap zone.
It could have been anything and just a bad Cops parody where no joke happened there.
It was me, Sasquatch.
Sadly, that's probably one of the funniest parts is them chasing Sasquatch.
Yeah,
That's only
he chases him at the speed limit. It's like, okay, let's go with this very low speed chase.
While we play this cheap dollar siren that we got inside the car.
Yeah, which was way louder than anything else because sound balance, of course they don't have it.
He's running. Oh, he knows it. He stops at the stop sign, though.
It says 104 minutes, but it wasn't. It was 47.
1004.
1004. I know it was 47 because I looked at it.
Well, they probably just put what it felt like.
Hiya, gang. Conrad Brooks. Of course, most of you know me from working with my good friend Ed Wood's Movies.
Ed Wood's Movies were a good friend of mine. Or something like that. It's like
my good friend Ed Wood's Movies.
Yeah, my good friend Ed Wood's Movies. Like, what?
Well, you can't just use that as your selling point of the movie, that Conrad Brooks intros it, because, like, he seems like a really fun guy, but, like, mostly he's in a lot of crap that's not that fun. He was in Plan 9 from Outer Space, and...
yeah, but he played a cop in that. But in real life, being a cop is hard.
The real tenuous connection there.
As evidenced by these. Oh, wait, no.
Ah, look what I found in the cemetery. Popcorn.
He kept finding popcorn in the graveyard for some reason, and then, okay, he finds popcorn in the second one. He just does the same thing, but then, first of all, it's tipped a little low, so you can tell there's something in it that he's gonna pull out, and then he pulls out a head.
This is for the monster lovers. Monster lovers. You can add some butter to it.
It's great because it makes no sense.
Yeah. And then he just keeps laughing. Put butter on it. Ah!
He is no Freddy's Nightmares Freddy.
Yeah.
Like, that was like some of the worst horror hosting I've seen.
Hoping he would do that. Pop out of the oven. It's me, Conrad Brooks. Well, this sketch sure is going forever.
There's
no punchlines or anything. I'm sorry we wasted your time.
He's not sorry.
I'm glad I already got your money.
He got a whole 2 cents out of this. Good lord. It didn't even look as good as this shitty picture here.
That does happen, but yeah, it's like they put a filter on it to try and make it look better.
Yeah, where they capture a werewolf.
Yeah. So yeah, first sketch was that, the second sketch was the werewolf where the cop...
I think Frankenstein was the second one.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that, because there's almost nothing.
Hold on, I'll tase him, Oh shit.
But this is like a bad wrestling match, you know, where the big guy can't really do anything, so the guys just kind of bump around him to try and make it look like he's doing
we
something.
fell over a couch in this living room.
Constantly.
I mean, it's a
bar. Not just our friend's living room. But yeah, they just keep falling over this couch, like as this Frankenstein guy goes, like, ugh.
It looks like the bar at Doug's old place.
Yeah,
if you didn't film around it to pretend it was a real bar, just whatever, just show the couches, whatever.
Then the second cop was worse at improvising than the first one, which was Mean Feet. And he said something like, oh, you know, I'm like a vet, so they get me on the animal cases.
Sure. And then he fights a werewolf, and you can tell how his veterinary skills helped him in this situation.
As he rolls around someone's yard with a bunch of leaves in it with this guy in a werewolf mask.
You know, so some of that feels like it's a little funny if it didn't go on for half my life.
You'd think it's coming to an end, and then he calls in for backup, and another guy comes, and then they just do it more.
There's so many times when they could just cut to something else, and if it was a little tighter, it still wouldn't be a great movie, but I feel like it would be less of a waste of time.
If this was a completely different movie, it would be pretty good. Like everything be opposite of what they did here.
The fact that it's a documentary style cops thing.
That's the only thing that sort of works in his favor.
It's the only sort of saving grace here, because I don't think they had any sort of filming skills anyway, but at least it makes sense with what they're doing.
Yeah, with some of their shots where they're just handheld running around.
Some of them don't.
Probably what they would do. Yeah, then like later they have to try and cut because they're trying to add shitty effects or whatever in there, and
they'll have dummies that are on fire and bats on strings.
yeah, it's hilarious when they try to pull off these stupid vampire effects.
It always changes the time of day too. The time of day is really inconsistent in this movie.
They set them on fire and then suddenly, oh, it's night.
Oh, that vampire thing goes on forever. I feel like I would be more annoyed by it if it weren't for stupid Detective Rock sequence.
That was the thing that just made me so fucking pissed off
It
with
was
this.
awful because you don't know that that's the entirety of the sketch until it just keeps going. And it's the perfect example of bad improv, because clearly he was given 2 points for the scene to go off of. He was given talk about the toys and mention you're gonna watch monster movies. And he just repeats the same thing over and over again.
You mean like that Cyclops that I made in 7th grade? Yeah, I made it out of a Quaker Oats box painted. It's really cool. Yeah, I got this little toy Cyclops from the Palmer figures from the 60s. Yeah, I got Palmer figure the werewolf. That's cool. I got a little toy werewolf. I even got a chocolate werewolf. And I got a chocolate Frankenstein too. Got a little Frankenstein here. It's really cool. Plastic mummy. And I got this werewolf, man. It's really cool. I gotta watch monster movies. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, I got this plastic mummy figure too. Glow in the dark Frankenstein. It's cool. It rocks. Then I got a little monster toy here. I got one with a wolf man on it too. I got this real cool mummy thing, man. I gotta watch monster movies tonight. I gotta eat my food so I can have energy to watch monster movies tonight. It's a giant devil in here. It's cool. I got this really cool Frankenstein head too, man. Little teeny car here. It's cool. I gotta eat so I can have energy to watch monster movies tonight. No, I'm trying to watch monster movies. Man, he's cool. I gotta watch monster movies, man. I'm gonna be busy watching monster movies. I don't want any more calls today.
I gotta eat my food so I got energy to watch them monster movies later.
Oh my God.
This is like a low light, bad angle, single camera shot for like almost 5 minutes of this jackass not shutting the fuck up.
He just talks about, I got this toy and I got this toy here, but I'm a detective, but I don't believe in monsters, and I got this toy and it's pretty cool here, and then I like this guy, and I gotta go watch monster movies, and I don't believe in monsters.
I wanted to reach through the screen and strangle him. Dwayne the Cock Johnson or something.
He's David the Rock Nelson.
Yeah, David the Rock Nelson. What a load of shit.
He's a rock clone that went bad.
I would love for him to go and introduce himself like that to Dwayne Johnson. I'm the Rock!
At one point, you think you've escaped the madness, but it turns out it was just the punchline, and then it comes back. It was 2 seconds of footage.
Because he's always talking to Officer Cyclops. It doesn't even fit with the rest of the sketches, because this jackass is talking about his stupid toys, and like he's got the werewolf, and then he's like the person is on the phone, he's like, oh yeah, werewolves, no, they're not real, oh no. Like when the rest of the sketches are set up so it's like monsters are kind of a mundane thing that the Transylvanian PD always have to deal with.
When it's apparently something that they have a police unit for and a television show for.
Yeah.
You can't say you don't believe in monsters.
And the sketch right before that was them catching a fucking werewolf.
That was the absolute worst part of the movie, because it might not have even been as long as some of the other sketches, but it felt like forever, because it was just a single static shot of him repeating the same things over and over again.
He had nothing. He had, like you said, it was like 30 seconds at the most worth of material repeated over and over.
Ugh. If that was cut down to maybe a minute and it was just like a cutaway joke, maybe. It's not great, but don't have it go that long. No one's going to be laughing at this. Absolutely no one.
Maybe he had this dummy like talking about how werewolves don't exist, and then you show outside his room is covered by them about to kill him.
Yeah.
That might be a joke or something.
But they didn't have enough werewolf masks or people that they could get in them. The director didn't have enough friends, you see.
The stupid The Rock guy was like their big special guest star.
Yeah, I don't know what he's from, if he's known for something, but
I hope its sketches as good as that.
Birds!
The last sketch was the vampire thing.
The vampire thing.
And
where there's like an illegal blood bank or something going on where he's got to investigate.
He's a movie star. His name was Lee Christopher.
And it's funny because he doesn't look anything like him.
Or act anything like him. Or try.
It goes on forever, like everything in this movie, and it leads into a fight scene. All of a sudden there's action going on in this.
I do like the police officer, like after he cuffs Lee Christopher and searches his house, he finds a dummy in his like crawl space. And they're they've been de-blooded.
A little de-blooded.
And there's just jugs of Kool-Aid everywhere. That's his blood.
And you think he's killed him at least a couple times, and then he just keeps coming back.
Yeah, they go over to his shed, and he, like, I don't know, apparently during this fight, he's like, I gotta take a quick nap. So he jump cuts. They keep jump cutting him into parts here. But he jump cuts into his coffin, and then he gets, like, the bluntest big steak you've ever seen. Like, I don't think there's even a point on it.
No, there wasn't.
Yeah, it's just, it'd be like this. If you're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna hammer this into him. Spits up some fake blood, then he closes it back over to make sure you don't see that there's clearly no wound in him.
The funniest editing moment to me was when he was coming out of the basement, the cop, and then he gets cut off mid-sentence.
Oh, yeah.
They got away.
Oh, well. Hey, that ain't mine. Guess what I found? Well.
I like really early on too, you see that little VHS distortion when you're like at the very start of recording something, so you see that kind of wavy color stuff in the footage.
So they fight the vampire guy, and then I guess that's the movie coming to a close. Because they're like, I guess we're out of material.
That was the boss.
That was the boss of the movie. Good lord.
Yeah. Just another job, a day on the job around here.
And then Conrad Brooks is somewhere in the bushes going.
He's going, this was Transylvania.
Yeah, it sure looked like it.
Everyone looked and sounded like they were from Transylvania.
They really fooled us on that.
Yeah.
It was good stuff.
See you next time, Bigfoot.
Would you say there was any redeemable part of this?
Fuck no!
Would you ever recommend it to
No!
This is the worst kind of shot on Shidio. It's not funny bad, it's just, it tries your patience. And it was a really hard sit. Yeah. Even at 47 minutes.
You didn't have that cock guy in the middle. Like, it'd be a little more tolerable. A little.
It's still.
Oh, that guy. Ugh.
All of it worthless. Do not watch.
course, most of you know me from working with my good friend Ed Wood's movies.